Serpents is the attribute of a man, right? That's a snake. I am a serpent. You can even be a serpent. Serpent means wise, cunning, charming. All of those are attributes of serpentitude.
Right. Yes.
That is a snake. Snakes aren't always serpents.
No, they're not. But what makes them a serpent? What makes the
No, they're
Bible
not
say serpent?
because the Bible was talking about a man, not a snake. That's it. That's why the Bible mentioned the serpent.
No, I think the Bible was mentioning demons.
Yes, you're also correct.
It's spelled different.
That's right. You're correct. You're doing good. You're correct. And this, just to think of, when you think of a demonic energy, you think of a demonic mindset. You think of low frequency thoughts.
Send chills to my body.
Send chills? That's good.
Because some people don't have some people's minds aren't like my mind and the things that I think
That's why I say peace, Lord. That's why I say you could be a serpent. I'm gonna be a serpent, but we not snakes. Remember I say wise and cunning, charming. Look how nice we are to each other. No, they're not.
You can't tell me a snake ain't sneaky.
Is she sneaky right now?
If she sees some prey.
That's right. So it's her way of attacking prey, but everything attacks they prey that way, or the prey gonna run away. If a meat eater out there hunting chickens, he had to be sneaky too. Snakes just got demonized energy. They demonized them.
They did. Who did?
Energies that don't want you to go through your process of evolution. So energies that don't want you to go through your process of evolution don't want you to heal. And since snakes shed skin, they represent healing and the fact that you need to change or shed a skin to heal. So that's what they represent. Change. That's, you ain't got to shed no blood. She ain't gonna never shed no blood. She shed skin. It's easier for you to change versus than you try to change someone else. You try to change someone else, you may have to shed some blood.
How often you feed her?
Once a month, every 5-6 weeks.
And that's what it says?
Is that how long it says to feed her? So I feed her according to what she needs. Some people feed their snakes every week.
You know your snake is hungry.
She lets me know she's hungry.
Say how?
She got a vibration. You see how quiet she is? All reptiles have a strong telepathic energy. Telepathically. No, in anybody. If you go and put your attention on her, she'll let you feel something and know something telepathically. You feel what I mean? It's just her only way to speak.
I don't want to get close to her.
Don't get close to her. You ain't gotta get close to her. You ain't gotta get close to her for you to feel her information.
So you don't think that a snake isn't? So you say, I'm gonna say it like this. So you say a snake isn't sneaky. You say a snake isn't a serpent. You say we are serpents.
Look at that. Look at that. Undid everything they done taught us. That's right. A snake isn't sneaky. A snake isn't a serpent. The divine man and the divine woman carry serpentitude. We carry serpent energy. We are the wise. Okay? We are mentally, emotionally wise, spiritually wise.
And because of the eating of the tree of knowledge, which is, they say good and evil, bad or good. How do you conflict that into?
Look at this dog. Look at that dog. Oh, where that dog at? Hey, bro, he all right around my snake? Okay. That's what he just looked at. He said, huh? He said, what that dead is over there? I like that Brendu. That's a beautiful Brendu.
And it's cautious too.
That's right. That's a girl or boy? Girl, beautiful. Is
your dog disciplined?
Yeah. He seemed like he brought him around my babies. Them dogs disciplined.
Tell your dog sit, go around the corner, come back, and it's still there?
Y'all like how we just giving this little lessons to the community, y'all. This is what we need. Iron out here sharpening irons. Iron out here sharpening iron. Mm-hmm. You know your bag open, bro? Let me close it.
No, I like it like that.
Okay.
Some people, they think that you have a whole lot of what they don't even see.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they try to be sneaky.
I'm learning.
Snake.
I like to learn. Okay.
But I don't give them the time of day because I'm already gonna give you access. You ain't gotta unzip it. All you gotta do is you make the decision on whether or not I'm gonna catch you. And you gotta contemplate what's gonna happen after I catch you.
I like that.
People don't think about consequences.
Listen, today I'm streaming. Today I'm streaming, right? And I'm teaching on self-care Saturday. Right? So I teach every day is ruled by a different planet. Today's planet is what day you think? What planet you think? It's Saturday. What planet you think it is?
Saturn.
That's right. You see how Saturn has a ring around it? That ring finna be the halo. Okay? Teach you to operate in your holy self, which is to care about you today. Care about you. Right? And for you to obtain this sense of holiness, you must be disciplined. You must have boundaries. You must have structure. Okay? You must practice utilizing your own wisdom. And your wisdom should have taught you to care for me. I know life, I'm going to care for life. You got all them other days. Care for you today. So that's what I'm going to be speaking on today. Different ways. That's right. Different ways for you to care for yourself. Okay? And we need to care for ourselves. We need to care for the family. Look at the family out there doing, y'all. They're having fun with their sister. Look at them. They're having fun with their sister, y'all. She having fun with them. She having fun with them. See what I mean? You gotta let nature do what nature do. Let nature do what nature do. She okay if she go out to the street, she do that. Look, my son run a strict program. He run a strict program. Yeah, y'all, yes, sir. Got to do what I do for community, y'all. I give y'all a whole lot. I'm listening. Oh, take your time. Take your time. Let it come to you. Take your time. Let it come to you.
It's already there. All right. How long you gonna be here, bro?
At least for about 10 minutes. Maybe 20. Yup. I'm going to drop my lesson over here on my platform. And that's it. You know, lesson on lesson on lesson on lesson on lesson. Lesson on lesson. Hey, listen, y'all. We must learn how to not allow people to be victims of our emotions. Okay? To be victims of our emotions. If we're going to care for ourselves, we have to practice caring for ourselves by also caring for the well-being of our family and the emotional fortification of our families and the people around us. Okay? This means we shouldn't be venting. We shouldn't be gossiping. We should not be venting. We should not be gossiping. We should not be spreading information coming from our emotions. This is why venting is a very dangerous spirit. When you call somebody and you just want to release, okay, and depending on how much those people love you, they may prepare a decision, okay, or come to a conclusion about a person or a circumstance unbeknown to them that everything changes, everything evolves, and the way you feel today will change. How many times have people done called you to vent about a certain person, okay, and they end up loving these people again? If they ended up right back with these people or back befriending these people, you got to be careful about venting. Also, if you're a mother, okay, you have to be careful about not allowing your offspring to adopt your emotions in the moment. I'm going to say it again. You must be careful about not allowing your offspring to adopt your emotions in the moment. Okay? See, listen, a lot of mothers have spreaded their emotions right to their offspring. They spreaded it. They spilled it right over. Okay? How often have your mother included you in conversations you didn't need to be included in? How often have your mother sat around and vented to her friends and you overheard the conversation? Okay? I know a lot of women operate so freely and undisciplinedly, and without any boundaries to their own lips, especially as it pertains to the offspring, because some women have this holier than thou type of mentality. But you must understand that the correction of a nation starts in the household. The correction of a nation starts in the household. We must not allow our emotions, okay, to depict, okay, to depict the way our offspring views life and reality. Your emotions should not be shaping the reality of your offspring. Do that make sense? I'm going to say it again. Your emotions should not be shaping the reality of your offspring. Your offspring should not be viewing reality through your emotional lens. Your offspring should not be viewing reality through your emotional lens. Okay? This pertains to man and woman. Okay? And it's often seen in the woman. Okay? We see a lot of women, okay, allowing their offspring to adopt their emotions. I know I was also a victim of this same ideology, okay? Listen, a lot of us were the type of people, okay, or a lot of us have been victim to our mother's disposition with family. How many of you grew up with a disposition of family that wasn't really your disposition, it was your mother's disposition? Okay, I grew up with aunts and uncles that my mother may had a disposition with, but because of this, we were at a distance. We were at a distance. How many of you, okay, maybe had childhood friends, okay, and your mom was cool with the other mothers, okay, and because they had a falling out, now you and this childhood friend also see each other less or possibly have a falling out. Y'all ever had to pretend that you don't like a person because your mother don't like a person? Now, yes, the same thing happens. The same thing happens in the reality of a male. That same thing happens with men, okay? But it's more or less seen in a woman. We see it more in a woman, okay? We see it more. People are easily dressing themselves in the emotions of their parents. A lot of us are carrying generational curses. Believe it or not, 60 to 70% of these generational curses are the emotional lenses that we are wearing that was given to us by our mothers and fathers, mostly our mothers. Your emotional disposition. Okay, think about, this is why shadow work helps. Think about if this is really your emotional disposition, or okay, if you grafted this emotional disposition by ways of your mother. Okay? Y'all give me a second. Let me know if this makes sense, y'all. If y'all got any opinions on what's going on. Let me know if it makes any sense. Why are you pulling on her butt, son? You trying to keep her from going in the street? Y'all running. Y'all so strict. It's all right. What? It's okay. When she get to that side, look, son, she big. So you got to get her halfway through. When she get to this side, she heavy now, so your dad's strong. You pick her up soft so she don't be wiggling all in your hands. You pick her up like this. Sometimes you got to carry her like a backpack. You carry her like a backpack. Grab my drink. Carry her. She just a baby.
You ever needed some advice or a little nasiha, sincere advice from people you know think the way you think, you know the answer to what you're about to ask them, but you need to hear it in order to.
That's right. Yes, you're right. Yes, that's called.
You gotta hear it a different way.
That's called edification. The question you ask: Do you ever need to hear? Do you ever need to hear something you may have already known come from a different person through a different perspective, right? And this edifies with you that you are moving in the right direction in life. Everyone needs this. Everyone needs this, okay? So if you ever felt that, you are as human as I am. The things that I learn in life is only edification of that which I already know. Even though you may have never heard my perspective on a snake or the serpent, it was already inside you.
So a teacher can be taught, a professor can
if a teacher can't be taught, they're not a teacher. The teacher is the greatest student because they love to be taught.
But when you know the answer, you know how to figure out the answer. But the answer you're trying to figure out, you can't Oh, man.
Sometimes, listen,
I'm thinking
sometimes, yes, you are thinking too hard. Don't think, feel. Sometimes the answer is evolving. Like it start off a tiny seed, then become a stem, then become a flower. It's growing into a larger plant. The answer is evolving. It's not just set in stone in one thing. It is evolving. You feel what I mean? So you allow it to evolve. Your brain is trying to force your way to understand it as a seed state, to understand it as a stem state. And why is it changing? That's what a lot of things, that's what a lot of times we be asking ourselves subliminally. Why is it changing? Why do I feel like now I can add more to the answer that I once had? Then you start to question, did I really have the answer? And you did. You have to accept that the answer is evolving.
I wish I had a father growing up, bro.
You did have a father. It just wasn't always yours. Father energy will never disappear. Father energy is here. You feel what I mean? I feel where you coming from a lot. Thank you for being man enough to even say that. You say, I wish I had a father growing up. Father energy always been here. You feel what I mean? Even though we may not have received it from a certain place, just know that something, that frequency in the earth always loved you and always will love you.
So why I turn out to be just like my father, though?
Because you were not aware, okay, of repeating generational curses.
Of a person not being there, or
because they wasn't there, you didn't know that you was repeating the same thing. Now, as you learn yourself, you'll have to dig inside to see daddy. As you learn yourself, you'll have to question, should I be doing that or should I not be doing that? That's it. And it ain't over. Remember I said the answer is evolving. You evolving, baby. You ain't over. Come on now. You ain't over. You evolving. And it ain't your fault. You accept things that ain't my fault. What is my fault is what I'm aware of. That's it. If I was not aware of it, it is not my fault. I am just a result of my own. I am the result of my father's sins, my mother's sins. Okay, that's the generational curse. Okay, but I'm only the product of my awareness.
not environment.
That's right. I'm the product of my awareness, my environment. That tree is born. Look at these trees. These trees is born in the slums, but they're able to give me oxygen, love, peace, power, and prosperity. I've been the same energy since you met me. I mean, when you was over there asleep, I said, what's up, man? Peace, power, and prosperity. How are you? You feel what I mean? I'm not the product of my environment, and not the environment on the inside at the least. I'm the product of my inner environment. My inner environment say love. My inner environment say peace, strength, energy. You feel what I mean? Yeah. Don't count yourself out.
Hey, bro,
keep counting.
Look, I'm doing front yards, backyards, clean out some, going through a little, is it a trial or a tribulation? What is it?
Yup. You in the wilderness. Everybody got to go through the wilderness before they get to heaven. You in the wilderness. It's okay. I've been through the wilderness.
Well, I'm in the wilderness. I'm just trying to work for mine.
That's right. That's right.
Time and priority.
That's right. I'm going to have something for you to do. I got you. I'm going to have something for you to do. Let's say, give me an hour, 1 o'clock. It's 11:51. 1 o'clock.
As if I'm not at another job.
Okay, well, I'm going to look for you.
I'm Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, beautiful name. I'm Yaya. Y'all see her? And let me see you pick her up, son. Go backpack her real quick. Hold on, I know you want to do it. Let him do it. Go backpack her. Remember, middle of the body. Touch first. Yep. Middle of the body. And go ahead and backpack her. Pick her up. Go ahead. You got her. You got her, son. Pick her all the way up. Put her on your shoulder. She heavy? Don't be scared of her, son. Don't be scared of her. Look. That girl ain't got no dangerous bone in her body for her family. She's strong, but she ain't got no dangerous bone in her body for her family. She gonna hiss. She a woman. So you know you got a mama. She hiss. She make noise. That's all right. Go ahead, try again. You just trying. You also learning her too. She's bigger since the last time. Where she moving? I gotta get her before she move. Go ahead, son. So look, son, you don't want to pull her. You want to lift her. Look, your dad don't pull her. Watch. She not mad. She probably just got to go to the bathroom. Look her butt. Look, son, she going to the bathroom. She going to the bathroom. So that's all. She just got to pee or poop. That's why I bring her in this grass so she can digest her food. They got to learn, that's all. Imagine teaching your son with wild animals and all that. That's so nice. Y'all don't know how beautiful that is. We're going to get back into the lesson, y'all. Y'all know when I'm out here in the public, I finna be teaching the community in real time. I'm going to reiterate myself. Okay. You should... Look at that! Did y'all see that? Y'all seen that? Oh my goodness. Why y'all gotta be the best audience in the world? Y'all subscribe to my YouTube? Go ahead and put yes in the comments if you subscribe to my YouTube. Go ahead and put yes down so I can be acting right. So I can be acting different, actually. I'm gonna give y'all another lesson. Yes, that's one yes. Yes, that's two yeses. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all subscribe to my YouTube at Yahlil Lakwame? Yes, I appreciate you. Look at that. I appreciate y'all. Look at that. 4. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all different because we a family. Brazil, yes, I appreciate you. Listen, we a family. Don't just be saying it either. We a family. I'm family oriented. Y'all see me. I'm family oriented. Always know y'all. I know y'all be wanting me to get into the lessons, but always know I'm loyal to those that I see in reality because I'm loyal to reality. I'm loyal to reality. Imagine how much I teach online. It's imperative for me to give that into the world, right, that I'm a part of. When they just approach me, that's the same as somebody approaching my page. When we get the handshaking and bumping fists and all that, that's somebody liking me, tapping me, giving me hearts. Okay? And then when I hear their rebuttals, they the comments. And I'm all for the comment section. It's okay, that terrible, you say that signal terrible, it's okay. I'm putting this on YouTube. This finna be on YouTube. Okay, all rawness. I like for y'all to see me in action. This finna be on YouTube, y'all. So if y'all want this entire live stream, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube. Okay, but back to it. Your offspring should not be a product of your emotional disposition. Okay, your offspring should not be a product of your emotional disposition. Far too long, we've been carrying the generational curses of our foremothers and our forefathers. And these generational curses, 60 to 65% of it is emotional. And our emotional dispositions that's causing us to make certain decisions or to not make decisions at all. To not make decisions at all. For far too long, we've carried the emotional dispositions of our mothers. For far too long, we was introduced to conversations that we shouldn't have been introduced to. Perspectives we shouldn't have been introduced to. Okay? Ideologies we shouldn't have been introduced to. How many of you, okay, have been caught yourself listening to your mother's conversation far too deeply? Listening to your mother's conversation about her friends and about how such and such ain't they friends now. Listening to your mother's conversations about the family members and about why she has to keep a certain distance away from family. Listening to your mother's dispositions, maybe even about your father. Maybe even about an ex or next or your stepfather. Okay? And explaining why she has to keep a certain distance or a certain mindset. Okay? And the reason why that's dangerous is because you are far too young to know that everything is temporary. You don't know that your mom can change. You don't know that the way she feels can be different tomorrow. Okay? These are the dangers. Okay? These are the dangers of including our offspring at an adolescent stage, okay, into our emotional reality. We are being far too emotional. This is not fair to our offspring, and we cannot keep, okay, shifting the responsibility to heal on the offspring. Because when you heal your bloodline, when will you do it? You yourself, who the one watching me. When will you heal your bloodline, or will you just keep blaming yourself and start blaming your family and start saying, this what I was taught. Don't you know that's an excuse? Mature spirits not taking no excuses. And don't you know your offspring is coming up more mature? Weren't you more mature than your mother and father? Weren't they slightly more mature than their mother? So what makes you think that your offspring won't be more mature and wiser and stronger and more creative than you? The newer one is always better than the older one. And a lot of these elder traditions are obsolete. They are obsolete. They do not work in real time. They may have worked 60 years ago. They may have worked even 100 years ago. Even if they didn't work, they may have been more violent. Okay, they may have been more violent. Like how a lot of parents taught their offspring to go out there and be safe. You done went out there and been so safe, you done isolated yourself. You done went out there and been so safe, you forgot how to network. You done went out there and been so safe, you forgot how to, be a family member, be a community member. You done went out there and been so safe, okay? You done introverted yourself so deeply, you don't even know how to socialize. How many of y'all was being safe, so now you don't socialize? You know how many people say, I don't got no friends, like it's cute? You know how many people say, oh yeah, I don't be around people. Why can we say that so easily today? Oh, I don't be around people. Oh, I don't have any friends. Because you was taught to be safe. I want you to understand that happened, 1800s, when certain people was in bondage. I'm gonna say certain peoples because a lot of peoples, even that don't speak my language or look like me, was in bondage. Okay? And they were taught to be safe. The parents, to keep them alive, taught them to be safe. Now, that don't work today. You being safe is not going to keep you alive. That's going to actually keep you in bondage. You don't need to be safe. You need to actually be dangerous. Get out there and be a little more dangerous. Get out there and be a little more risky. No risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. You have to risk those emotions for the greater good of yourself. You're going to have to risk the way you feel for the greater good of your offspring. Risk some of those emotions. Sacrifice the way you feel so those babies don't have to consume the way you feel. Why should these babies be walking with adult emotions inside them? Why should these babies be walking, with the lens and reality, that the adults are wearing? They not adults. You have them aging far too fast. The offspring are aging faster than you can imagine. That's why they becoming wiser. Faster than you did. Faster. They wise, listen to this. They wise enough to know that they didn't want to live off the grid. They wise enough to not need no phone bills paid. The youth don't need phones. The youth don't need phone. They finna get through life all on Wi-Fi. They wise. They wise enough to not want to work their lives away. They will quit before they go unhappy. They wise enough to want community. Remember, they didn't ride. They didn't grow up when these social platforms was erected. In the MySpaces, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, back when they was organic. They didn't grow up in these worlds. So what did that mean? They're lacking community. And they also wouldn't have wanted it off the internet anyway. They wouldn't have wanted it off the internet anyway. Okay? They are wise. Not only are they wise, but they are the correction to the previous generation. The generational curse breakers, are the offspring that you haven't. I want you to understand that. So you have to give them the opportunity to correct you. Let them correct you. That's what they dare to do. They finna be your ancestors. They finna be your, when you become a baby, because you're going up the timeline. When you become a baby again, and when you become the baby, when you between 70, 80, 90%, and you the baby again, who you think gonna be teaching you? Who you think gonna be taking care of you? It finna be those ancestors you done gave birth to. Why wouldn't you ready your ancestors? Why wouldn't you ready the next generation to be grands? And the only way you're gonna ready them is giving them the opportunity to think on their own, giving them liberate them from your emotional lenses. Liberation happens on the inside. I've been teaching y'all this. Hopefully you've been picking this up. I've been teaching you this in an undoctrinated form. I didn't need a doctrine to tell you this. I didn't need no books to tell you this. I didn't need no man to tell you this. I didn't need no woman to tell you this. This was born inside of me. More importantly, this was born with me as it was born with you. You knew this. The truth was born with you. Same way. You don't believe me? The truth was born when the sun was born, when the lion was born, when the tree was born, when the grass was born. When was the fire created? When did the bee come into existence? When did the bird come into existence? They've been here forever, like the truth, like man. Okay? We all walked on this plane together. Okay? But I want us to bear witness to the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is we have to accept that not only are we not always right, but we cannot be pushing our perspective off on the next generation. We cannot be pushing our emotional curses onto the next generation. We have to accept the truth. And the truth is liberation starts on the inside. Liberation starts on the inside. Liberation starts on the inside. Liberate yourself of those negative emotions. Can you at the least do that? Can you at the least try to do that? A lot of y'all got the most negative emotions to the people you're going to need. That's how you spot a problem. That's how you spot a curse. That's how you spot a dis-ease. How many of you got problems with the co-parent? That you gonna always know these people and you ain't never thought to seek to eradicate these problems? How many of you got problems with your family? People you also always gonna know. How many of you got problems even with other races, ethnicities, and cultures? People you always gonna have to deal with in some way, shape, or form. How many of you got these problems with energies that are always gonna be around? So when did your problem-solving mind was gonna think to tap back into the conversation? You got all these problems. You know how to acknowledge these problems. Where is the problem solver in you? Did you drown it with all them problems? Did you smother it with negative emotions? Because the problem solver can't live in negative emotions. Liberation starts on the inside. Liberation starts on the inside. Liberate yourself from those negative emotions that's becoming so deep you may not be able to change. Save yourself before you can't change. Free yourself before those chains get too heavy for you to move forward. Free yourself before you're unable to change. Free yourself from the bondage of these emotions, these mindsets, these ideologies, these beliefs before the chains of them, okay, hold you down so deeply and so long with them heavy chains that you can't even change. It's too late. It's nothing you can do. Okay? Let's liberate ourselves of these emotions, because if you can't liberate yourselves of this emotional reality, then how will you be able to liberate your offspring? What point is the parent if you can't provide liberation to your offspring? If you can't maintain their freedom because they was born free, but if they just so happen to slip into some bondage, okay, if you can't liberate them, then what good are you? You liberated them from your body. The body liberated semen from the man, and then liberated the offspring from the woman. So y'all was supposed to be liberating these spirits. Okay? Liberating these energies. If you can't liberate yourself, how would you be able to liberate your offspring? And if you can't liberate your offspring, if you can't maintain their liberation because they was born free, then that means you are introducing them to bondage. And if you can introduce your offspring to bondage, witfully or unwitfully, what are you? Are you a good spirit or the other spirit? What are you? Are you a good parent or not? What are you? Do you even care? Do you care? Because when you're so consumed by your own emotions, you won't even care. You know how many people don't care? Why is that? Not only do misery love company, but the healing mind, okay, cannot perform certain tasks like caring. The healing mind. This is why I don't teach people that are too far gone and that they need to do healing. You go find a therapist. Okay, you go find those people that's there to help you heal. I'm here to teach you what to do with your healing. Help you in your evolution as a person. You thought the whole time you was on this earth was going to be focused on your healing. So if you was focused on your healing all this time, then what would your babies going to be doing? What happens when they spring their spiritual arm? Okay, when they cut themselves emotionally, what happens to them? If you been focused on your own healing, they never get the attention on theirs. That's why a lot of your babies are already depressed. A lot of babies are growing up depressed. Okay, they only have devices, growing up depressed. Okay, healing. I don't teach the healing mind. The healing mind isn't ready to learn. If a person comes to me ready to learn, this means that they have learned how to heal themselves and bandage themselves. They've learned. They took that class already. You ain't gonna be able to get to 12th grade, and I'm 12th grade, so to speak, because I go through 9th and 12th, but I like teaching the 12th grade. You ain't gonna be able to get through this spiritual grade system, a higher level of this spiritual grade system, if you didn't learn how to heal yourself. Why? Because listen again, this is what I teach. The healing mind is not a learning mind. If you break your leg, you don't want to learn how you broke your leg. You want to just heal the leg. Correct? You think you want to learn how you broke your leg. Do you care? If you just broke your leg and somebody says, oh, you may want to walk like this. They're not even helping you out. You need a cast. You need to go to the hospital. They sit there and ask you, well, what happened to you? How'd you do that? You know you shouldn't have done that, right? No one wants to hear that when it's time to heal. You don't want to learn. Why? Because your mind needs all of your brain space to do one or the other. Your mind needs your brain space to heal. It's called mental real estate. Your mind needs mental real estate to heal. Okay? Now, when you're ready to learn, this is when the wounds have healed. Even if you got the crutch on you, you can start healing with the crutch. You got the crutch on you, cool. I mean, you can start learning with the crutch. You got the crutch on you, you're okay. Maybe you can start beginning the process of learning. But the healing mind and the learning mind is two different places. And if you are going through challenging your emotional state, if you are going through emotional challenges, if you are going through mental challenges, if you are going through physical challenges, if you are going through spiritual challenges, okay, and you need to heal and you ain't done the reflective work or the shadow work, you're not going to be able to learn. Some of you try to learn while you healing. That don't happen like that. To the point y'all try to project that type of mentality off onto the people teaching you. Somebody asked me in a class a few years ago. They said, no, they didn't ask. They said, thank you for teaching us while you're healing. I said, I ain't healing. Your breath should stink even saying that. Why would you say that? How could I teach you something that I didn't complete? Something that I didn't finish? And I had to do some research and look out there in the world. Some of y'all are healing and teaching people while you healing. That's a shame. Stay away from the idea of teaching if you're healing. I'm gonna say it again. Stay away from the idea of teaching if you're healing. You should not be teaching and healing at the same time. Okay? You should not be teaching and healing at the same time. If you just broke your leg, okay, and I broke my leg, how you gonna teach me how not to break my leg? Heal your leg first. Your mind don't even have that capacity to do two things at once. You are best with your energy focused. Okay? I don't want to oversaturate y'all. I just gave a lot of wisdom. The likes is teaching me something different. The likes is teaching me that this, you know, we received enough. We received enough. Somebody said, where did you learn that from? That's a great question. I'm your teacher. I got it right from the source, myself. Some of y'all don't like to hear that. The healing mind don't like to hear that. I love when I get asked that question. That means you kind of seeing me, but you squinting. You kind of see me, but you squinting. No, it wasn't no book. No, it wasn't no doctrine. No, it didn't take nobody proclaiming to be my savior to teach me how to heal me. Because naturally, if I cut my arm, it'll heal on its own. You got a process inside of you of happening naturally, but if you do so many unnatural things, okay, then something supernatural is going to happen. You know what's the supernatural thing in this equation? You're going to ask someone else to help you heal when it's something your body can already do. Correct? Do I recommend you have teachers? Yes, I had teachers. But you know what my teachers taught me? To go to source. That's why I teach you that you are enough, to go to source. Okay? Yes, you can have mentors. Yes, you're going to need them, actually. Okay? I had mentors my whole life for different subjects. You need mentors for different things, not just this grand mentor for one thing. You need mentors for different things. Okay? My first mentor was an Irish man by the name of John Flynn. Yeah, John Flynn was beautiful. John Flynn taught me that I was a man back when I was 14. Taught me to never take anything less than being a man. Never take anything less. John Flynn had me working with him, okay, doing everything that he could do. And I didn't think of this. I'm 14. He said, why wouldn't you be able to do what these men can do or what I can do? You're a man. Have some faith in yourself. Taught me faith in myself. Wasn't my first mentor to teach me faith in myself. And yes, John also built a relationship with me. He was the best man at my parents' wedding. Big John. That's Big John, Big Flynn. Okay? So I done had many different, Marcus Scott, another one. Mentored me in entrepreneurship. Okay? Mark started a printing company off of free Wi-Fi. No phone and free Wi-Fi. Dunkin' Donuts Wi-Fi. Okay? He used to run around looking for people like me who are writers and teachers, convincing us to write books. He created templates for these books, created a publishing company that also provided templates. Okay? He met illustrators to create three illustrations: front copy, back copy, and middle copy. And he had the writer choose one of these copies. He met editors. Okay, this before editing was done by artificial intelligence. He met editors, and before you know it, this was his company. Mark, a millionaire now, millions, multi-millionaire. Okay, he mentored me in my first few years of business for 2-3 years. You're gonna need mentors. Okay. Vernon. Vernon mentored me on husbandhood. Great mentorship. You know what one of the lessons Vernon taught me? Vernon taught me no matter if you right or wrong, apologize anyway. Because you should get in the habit for apologizing for the way people feel and not trying to force them to understand what you're trying to give them all the time or take what you're trying to push on them. Apologize for the way people feel. If you're a divine masculine, make sure you're doing that. If you're a divine feminine, make sure you're doing that. You ain't got to be wrong. You ain't got to feel wrong to apologize. That's something I got. Every one of my mentors, I remember every lesson. Okay? Oh, Joseph Spencer. Joseph Spencer taught me how to be community. Joseph Spencer taught me how to be community, and that community starts in the inside of the house. Joseph Spencer had 5 daughters. Okay? Matter of fact, I married one of his daughters. Okay? This man was, come on now, what type of mentor was that? Let me raise me to be a good man, introduce me to a good woman. They was decent, yo. Taught me how to cook, taught me that I love to take care of a family. I became a chef at a certain point in time because of what that mentor. So you're going to need mentors is what I'm saying. Okay? I had a bunch of mentors and teachers. I'm a student, so I got one now. I got 3 now. You're always going to need mentees. You're always going to need teachers so it can keep you in studenthood. Ashe? Where y'all sis at? Okay. Ashe? Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense to you, y'all. Okay? Remain a student. When you remain a student, you make yourself a better teacher. Never claim to be the teacher if you're not the student. Show them students that you're a teacher. Show them. Because if you're teaching, teach me how to be a student. That should be one of your first and primary lessons. And then you can teach me your area of expertise. Notice the teachers who don't have areas of expertise. They're not teachers. They're yappers. They talkers. It's a difference between a teacher and a talker. The teacher should be giving me their area of expertise and not trying to teach me everything. Okay? So when y'all coming across these people that's online talking about they some spiritual, this, that, and the third, spiritual is a scapegoat. That's an excuse to say that I haven't mastered anything. I'm spiritual. Okay? Spiritual is bogus. Okay? Spiritual is fraudulent. Okay? People talking about they got a spiritual. Oh, I don't believe in God. I'm spiritual. Then what do you believe in? I thought religion was the form of spirituality. Because you don't know. Instead of just saying you don't know and you still learning, you still processing these things, you're gonna just say, "Oh, I understand that we all come from one place." Do we? Do you really understand this? How? Oh, I understand. This was like those people that say, "Yeah, God got many names." Is it Yahlil Lakwame? Can I be one of them names or not? They don't work. They don't fit there. Okay. You be mindful of these spiritual. I don't take spirit. I don't take the idea of spiritual. What are you? What do you represent? What is your ideology? What is your expertise? I don't even want to know your ideology. What is your expertise? What are you the expert of? That's it. You jump to spirituality because you may not be an expert of anything. Like all these people y'all got in the these mass jigs in churches. What are they good at besides harnessing energy and aura farming and talking money out of people's pockets? What do they do for a living? That ain't your living. I remember I used to meet people. I used to say, well, they used to tell me, well, I'm here to, help you. When people come promote evangelizing, whatever gospel or whatever doctrine they come spreading, oh, I'm here to do this. Okay, that's fine. I'm here to assist people in activating their own power and walking in their purpose. Okay, I'll walk in my purpose. Well, then what is your purpose? To evangelize. What is your expertise? There's already disciples and evangelizers in the world. What is your expertise? What can you do? Oh, I can do whatever the good Lord bestows on my chest. But what was already on your chest before you met the good Lord? What was already on your chest? Were you empty? Were you born in sin and darkness? I rebuke you. Get away from me. I have nothing for you. You're still healing. I can't teach a person that's still healing. It's nothing there. You won't even allow the real you to come to the surface so we can have a conversation. This is why healing minds and teaching minds are different. Because when a person is going through healing, the true you isn't on the surface. The hurt you is on the surface. The angry you, the sad you, the introverted you. The you that lack faith in self. The you that lack purpose and meaning. That's the you on the surface. I can't have a conversation with those individuals. I need to have a conversation with the real you, the true you, the only you. Soul. That's the only one that's trying to learn. But you're going to have to be free. Imagine all them different lenses. You got the lens of this ideology. You got the lens of this emotion. You got the lens of this person perspective, your foremother and forefather. You got the lens of what your government done taught you. You got the lens of what you learned through society. You got all these different lenses on you. And when we gonna get to your eyes? Okay? Nevertheless, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube at Yahlil Lakwame. Okay? Make sure you also follow me on other social platforms. Okay? Instagram, Facebook, Twitch at Yahlil Lakwame. We have a slogan here. Okay? Because rich minds create rich spirits that create rich bodies. Okay? That's going to create the rich lives that we've been asking for. Okay? Our slogan is let's get rich. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you DM me if you were serious, and I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. If you need my assistance, okay? If you need my assistance, my mentorship, my teachings, my wisdom, okay? Or even my love, or maybe you want to join me on any of my holistic events or retreats, okay? Make sure you contact me directly. We're going to do a free consultation. Nevertheless.